Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about Season 5, Episode 1 of Stranger Things, The Crawl. Alright, so Season 5 is finally upon us. The first episode released around 2 to 3 hours ago, and I have to say, I was incredibly beyond excited for this series because I watched all 4 seasons of Stranger Things, or at least I watched the first season around 2 years ago when I was going to London, and I watched that one so I could understand the first shadow a little bit more. It's a show from Stranger Things that I've also seen. It explains the youth and stuff of Victor Creel, like Vecna one, you know the guy. And I saw that show, but I still hadn't seen season 2, 3, and 4 yet. But then a few, like 1.5 months ago, I was like, oh shit, yeah, season 5 of Stranger Things coming out. I really want to get in on the bandwagon. I want to know what all the hype is about. So I watched the second, third, and fourth season of Stranger Things, and I finished with that show around late time last week. So I was incredibly excited I watched the entire show right before the release of this season. So I was incredibly excited for going into this season with that. If you want to know my exact thoughts on season 1 to season 4, I've already talked about that in a previous video. It will be in one of the eyes up there. And yeah, well, let's today talk about episode 1. I am just fresh out of episode 1, and I have to say it was a phenomenal start of the season. It held everything you needed to know. It had action, it felt like some time had passed, it tells you a lot more, and it holds some more secrets. And the thing that I was the most curious about is Dustin Henderson for this season. Like, every season they chose someone who is like the big focal point. For season 4, that of course was Max Mayfield, and I feel like for this season that's going to be not only every single character, because everyone has their moment to shine probably in this season, but I think for Dustin Henderson and for Will, it will be very special. And we saw both of their stories evolve in a big way in this episode alone. Like, if we are talking about Will, of course, you have seen that the first 5 minutes, which I also reacted to in a video, is he has these things again where he is getting goosebumps, and it means that something is going on. And that was exactly the case this time, because something did happen during that crawl. And I feel like they already said it. He's going to become the big focal point. We are going to see why it was Will that was abducted in season 1, and we're going to see a lot more about his character. And I feel like Will has a big turning point for himself coming, because we now know that he wasn't afraid. We now know that, or he probably was afraid, but that he didn't do nothing when he was in the Upside Down. He actually took a shotgun. He actually did some fucking things. And I feel like in this season, he is going to become one of the big heroes of everything, because I think he will be one of the main focal points of the destruction of Vecna in the end. And I am incredibly excited to see that. The things that they have set up for him, especially with the goosebumps, we already knew about that, but this is the first time actually that he is managing to see things, which is incredibly insane. Like, he was looking through the eyes of the Demogorgon, which was phenomenally done, by the way. I loved those shots. It was eerie, it was brutal, it was everything I hoped it would be. Of course, we already knew that they would show the POV from a Demogorgon, and I did not think that would look as cool as it did in the show, actually, because, well, the Demogorgons have no eyes, so how would they see? Of course, it was going to be something like this, but the other focal point I was talking about is Dustin Henderson, and I speculated that he would become one of the emotion focal points, because, of course, he had lost Eddie, and he has lost a lot of people already. And I think he is going to become the Max Mayfield of this season, but he's not going to be running up any hills. He is not going to die, probably, hopefully, by Vecna's curse or something. No, he's just depressed, and you completely get it. The things that they have done to him, I asked myself in the trailer, like, why was his face all beat up? The moment the show started and the moment they showed what was going on with Dustin Henderson in the school and the bullies, I had to say, okay, so that's going to happen. Didn't expect it to happen in this episode already, and hope he is okay. for the rest. And I hope he will get to do some more magical stuff, but because we do want to see Vecna's heart on a platter. And yeah, exciting stuff is coming. The thing that they have added with the podcast, it felt a little weird. It felt a little long because it was going on for 500 days already, or 500 consecutive, how do they call it? Outings, like the 500th episode of the series or something. And that seems like a long time, and I don't feel like so much time has passed since the end of season 4 and this season. Enough for Hopper to grow a full beard back, so maybe it did take them 500 days, so we will never know. Yeah, if you look at the dates, but I'm bad at looking at dates. So, dates. So that was really exciting. The thing with the crawl is, I did not understand the bloody thing of the plan when they were explaining it, but I did understand it when they were getting back to it and when they were doing it. And it seemed like a very stupid plan, but one that might work. And of course, it didn't work in any way, but it's cool what they have set up. I am wondering where that might go. And of course, we have already, or the internet has already speculated about who is going to be disappearing in episode 2, because it's the title of that was The Disappearance of ... And I think everyone knew, or at least speculated, it was going to be Holly Wheeler. And I think that now as well. I already thought that. I thought it was confirmed, but it wasn't apparently. And I think that as well, especially with what they have set up for her character. I have to say, the little dude that was bullying her, Derek, no idea what I expected, but for a bully, the thing that he did, come on, it wasn't so hard. It wasn't like they were spinning him round, like they were spinning her rounds and rounds and rounds till she got sick. I mean, of course, it must have felt bad, but I think it would have had more effect if her head was on the outside of the circle, I guess. I'm not saying that they should bully her harder because it wasn't bullied enough, but, for a bully, that was pretty dim. So, Derek, fuck you, man. Be better if you want to be better at that. Don't do that. Forget what I said. So, yeah, Holly Wheeler seems very important for this season. Don't know what's going on with her yet, as we did see the arm of Mr. Mystery Man, and it was a normal arm. I thought it might have been Vecna, but now I don't think that. Maybe they're gonna Pennywise us, and it's going to be Vecna in another form. But I have no idea. I am really interested in seeing who that Mystery Man is going to be, because they did not show his face, of course. And I hope they will do something special for that. With that being said, I have to say I was in absolute awe with this episode. I was excited for it, and I got my hopes, and I am very happy to do so. Right now, I am going to go straight into episode 2 before I do have to go to sleep, because I do have a job. But I was very excited for this episode already, and yeah. What did you think of it? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on this. I will not give any score to this episode. I will only give a score to the entire season when that has come out on New Year's Eve. Alright, I want to thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked what you've seen here and you want to see more. What are your speculations on the later episodes? Please be mindful of anyone watching this video. Don't put any spoilers in the comments. Don't spoil the fun for other people. Just talk about the things that happened in this episode if you want to talk about it. And I would like to see you in the next video that's coming up in a few hours. Alright, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.